Hello bass family and welcome to Everything Bass. Today we're moving on with the technique development series and this is unit 13. So with this exercise I'm introducing a couple concepts that were taught to me in the form of an exercise. You can take it at face value, just practice the exercise as written, but I'm hoping you'll take the two concepts, which I'll share with you in a second, and apply them to all of the music you play. So when I was a student at MI, one of my favorite instructors, Steve Bailey, was talking a lot about octave displacement, taking a scale or a phrase, playing it in one octave, but then breaking it apart and playing another part of it in another octave. So that instead of being trapped in a one octave box, you're now taking and covering a higher range. And he gave us several exercises for that, and it really improved my playing. It also improved my accuracy in shifting and my knowledge of the fingerboard. So I wanted to incorporate octave displacement in today's technique development. The second was Stuart Ham. I was blessed to be able to take private lessons with Stuart Ham. And if you ever can take Skype lessons or anything with Stuart, I highly recommend it. He has given me so much. I mean, I took lessons from him 30 years ago, and I'm still like working on stuff that he's taught me and applying it. And he just changed my whole outlook on making music. But he talked about when sight reading, using open strings or rests to plan your shifts so that you don't audibly hear a quick shift. So I'm trying to incorporate that, even though we're not sight reading, I'm trying to incorporate that to show you to always be on the lookout for using an open string, even if you have to displace it in the octave. You know, maybe you're going to jump an octave below where you think it would be or an octave above. To use that as an opportunity to shift and make a clean shift. So those two concepts, today's exercise. If you're a Patreon subscriber and a Backstage Pass member, you may want to go to patreon.com/everythingbass, find the post Technique Development Unit 13, click on the link, download the sheet music and follow along. It might be helpful, but I'll do my best to describe it. So we're starting with we're going to cover 4 scales in this exercise. We're going to do the G major scale first. And what we do is we start the scale normally as you would in the one octave fingering. We're going to go. Now instead of playing the D here, we're going to play the open D, which gives me like a nanosecond to get up and jump to the octave of the G. And then come down the scale by playing the octave, the major 7, and the major 6. So this, instead of playing the scale this way, I now play it this way. So again, just a new way to look at practicing your scale by displacing it an octave and using an open string to make the shift more cleanly. So the second scale we're going to do is the C. It's very similar. We're going to play up the scale up to the 4th, play the 5th open, jump up to the high octave C, and play the major 7 and the 6, the major 6. So that sounds like this. Okay? Then we come down here to the A. And this one's going to be a little different, but it's cool. I think it's cool. You're going to play up to the 4th again. And instead of playing the E here on the 7th fret on the A string, you're going to play it as the open. So you've displaced the E an octave below where you were going to play it. So that sounds like this. All right, now we go up to the A 14th fret and play the octave major 7, major 6. So that sounds like this. Again, just now you've got a scale that maybe you're getting bored with how you're playing through it because you're just kind of playing within the octave, up and down, up and down. Now you've expanded it and it's creating new ideas. And hopefully it's the first domino that will fall in a series of dominoes that will allow you to maybe write new bass lines, come up with new melodies, things like that. So it's pretty exciting. Now lastly, we're doing the D, and the D is a little different because I always try to adjust these. Like I have 26 frets on this bass, but I know some of your basses don't have that much. So in the D, I go up, and just similar to what I did with the A, I go and then drop the A to drop to the open A, but I just stay right here. So in this case, I'm giving you an example of just taking one note and dropping it down. So all 4 of those scales played together would be this. Kind of crazy, kind of weird, but if you think of the concept of what I'm talking about, octave displacement and using open string notes to facilitate 2 shifts, becomes, kind of cool. So let me know what you think. This is one, I have two suggestions for you. One, forget about the metronome. Doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter because we're really working on things other than timing. Now, if you get it down and you want a higher challenge, then maybe turn on the metronome, start working your tempos up. But until you can play it smoothly, forget about the metronome. That's the first suggestion. Second is consider becoming a monthly subscriber. If you have Backstage Pass, membership is $8 a month. So for $8 all that month, you can download every sheet music I posted, which is coming up upon 100 at the time of recording. So you can just wipe it out. But I think sometimes having the sheet music and seeing it really helps it, get into your memory. So no metronome. Consider becoming a Backstage Pass subscriber. Get the sheet music, and I think those two will make this exercise a lot more attainable and I think more valuable. All right, now today we're moving on to one of my favorite albums of all time. This is our encore item, and it is Ozzy Osbourne's Blizzard of Oz. Bob Daisley, man, he's the bass player on here. Great songwriter, writes great bass lines, super creative. For those of you who've been following me for a while now, you know that my beginnings were in metal, and that was in the late 70s, early 80s. I was really into metal. When Ozzy's Blizzard of Oz came out, the album blew my mind. Now, everyone always jumps to talk about Crazy Train, and as they should. It's an iconic, legendary song. But it was I Don't Know. The song I Don't Know, when that was the opening track, it blew my mind. And what I want you to listen for, if you're unfamiliar with this album, or maybe you've heard the songs in the album but you really didn't listen to the bass players, I want you to listen to Bob's tone, his note choices, which just means you may need to download the chord chart so you can see the chords of the song, and then listen to what he's playing, play the bass line along with him, and see like, oh wow, what is he doing here? Listen to what he plays on the verse of Crazy Train. It's brilliant. I love it. But also just think about like his phrasing, and really listen to like Ozzy's vocal line and what he plays. And I love how he kind of goes in and out of the vocal line. Bob's one of my absolute favorite bass players in the world. I actually was honored to meet him at one point, and he's a gentleman and was free with sharing stories and just made everyone in the room laugh. So Bob, good on you, mate. You're a good man. So check out Blizzard of Oz by Ozzy Osbourne. Let me know what you think. What's your favorite track? If you know the album really well, what's your favorite track? And share that in the comments below. That'd be great. All right, guys, Technique Development Unit 13, Blizzard of Oz, Bob Daisley. Sounds great. Of course, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon. Let me know, or I'll let you know then every time I upload videos, which is every weekend. I really want to be an aggressive content creator, giving you lots of things to practice, so practice doesn't have to get boring or monotonous. Sound good? All right, guys, I will see you at the next video.